Hey Taurus, this is Natalie from Inspired Alignment. I am coming on today to do your reading for April 2019. I'm pretty much reminding everybody to keep in mind that we have the new moon in Aries on Friday, April the 5th. And this is kind of like a restart or a reset for a lot of people, but it may not exactly seem or feel that way at first. Also keep in mind that we have a full moon in Libra at the end of April, and this will actually be the second full moon in Libra that we have in a row. We did have one at the end of March, and we will be having one at the end of April. And this is really significant because it's not something that normally happens. And what this is kind of forcing everyone to do is to really look at the relationships within their lives. So this isn't just intimate relationships, definitely can be intimate relationships, but this is relationships with family, with children, with work, with friends, and just people within our lives. And for a lot of people, this is the ending of relationships that are no longer belonging in our life and the entering in of new relationships that do belong. So just keep that in mind. I'm sure that most people are kind of already experiencing this at this time, but I do feel like it is going to like kind of come to like a culmination or come to a head by the end of April. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with Taurus for April 2019. So what messages do we have for the sign of Taurus for April 2019? What are the most important messages for the sign of Taurus? Okay, so the first card we have is Heaven and Earth. Second card is the Child. And then we have the Hero. And underneath the deck we have the Father. With the Three of Air. Oh, wow. Okay, the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Water, and the Ace of Earth with the Union card. So wow, I have to take all of those. This is really interesting because I've only done 3 signs so far, and Capricorn was the first. They also had this Father card, and then Virgo had the Mother card, and now we have the Father card coming out again. So that's really interesting. Okay, so, and I do see that you guys have the Child card here too. So this definitely could be some things going on involving relationships with children or relationships with parents, either your parents or your children. I see this coming up as a theme for Earth signs for sure. Okay, so I see here with the Heaven and Earth card, what I'm getting from this is basically like I'm hearing as above, so below. And so what this is telling me is that basically we create our reality. And even though it is sometimes hard to stay in a positive frame of mind or to look at things without having like any judgments or like biases towards them is sometimes difficult, especially when we're experiencing like trying times within our life. But this is basically telling you that that this is going to be really important for the month of April, for you to really kind of recognize and realize that you are creating your own reality, and that the more optimistic and positive your frame of mind is, and your outlook on life and how you're interacting with the people within your life is really going to determine what it is that you're experiencing within your life. I'm also picking up here that there's like spirit animals. So you could be maybe having like a specific kind of animal outside that you're seeing all the time, or just like a rare animal that you normally don't see, like catches your attention. Or you could be experiencing dreams or visions and like meditation and stuff of specific types of like animal spirit guides. Okay, so here with the child card, I'm getting, well, some of you may have just had a child, or some of you may be pregnant with a child or conceiving a child. So I said the same thing to Virgo. If you are wanting to have a child, then this would be a good month to conceive. But if not, I would definitely like take precautions with that. But even more than that, I'm kind of picking up like this, like being your own hero, and kind of dealing with healing some inner child type of wounds. So maybe things that took place in childhood that are just kind of unresolved. I mean, we all kind of have that. We all kind of like deal with that in some way. Because as a child, I think that we all experience trauma in a different way. And some things may be more traumatic to one person than they are to another person, especially when you are kind of like when you have the innocence of a child. And so I'm getting that this is kind of like healing this inner child and like being your own hero, and really like kind of focusing your attention in a more positive and healthy direction in order to create this like positive type of reality for yourself. Now underneath the deck, we have the father card. So there could be a significant person in your life that is like a father figure that is important during this time, or you could be a father yourself. I am getting that with some of these like inner childhood wounds, it could have something to do with the relationship with a father-like figure. I'm also getting that if you have children now, and there were some things that took place in your childhood, it's like not repeating that cycle with your children. And that is part of healing your own inner child, so that you're not repeating like the same cycle of what you went through as a child. The father card does come next to the Three of Air, which I am getting like this feeling of, even in this deck, the Three of Air does not really symbolize like heartache or heartbreak or anything like that, but I am kind of picking that up here a little bit. And I don't really think that it's like something that's happened recently. I think that it's like older wounds. And I think that you may even be kind of researching information, or for some of you, you could be looking for a father, maybe that you haven't spoke to in a long time, or that just like wasn't really present in your life when you were a child. I just get like this feeling of like researching, and it has something to do with this father energy. And it could have something to do with like some heartache, or like this feeling of like something's missing. And then for others of you, I feel like you're just kind of doing research. For some people, this could be somebody who is going to be a new father, and they're like researching different things about, you know, becoming a parent. Okay, and then this is really interesting. So I have all three aces. We're only missing one ace here. So we're missing the ace of air, which would be like communication. But I feel like that's not going to really so much be an issue here. So we have the ace of fire, the ace of water, and the ace of earth. So what I'm getting from this is just like definitely like new beginnings. Just I don't know, like this is really great. I feel like passion, emotional fulfillment, creativity, all of that stuff is going to help you to manifest like all of these wonderful things in your physical reality. And that really kind of ties in with the heaven and earth card. I feel like there's definitely a lot of manifestation going on here. And you might just have this like small blockage of like inner childhood wounds that need to kind of be cleared up for you to fully just kind of gain momentum and start just manifesting like the crap out of everything in your life. And with this union card, I'm getting that this is like a union within yourself. Like this is kind of pulling yourself back together and integrating all sides and all aspects of yourself during the month of April. Like there's just, I feel like there's a lot of work here, but it's like good work. It's meaningful work. It is like work on the self. And it's all like happening so that you can start to manifest all of these things. And, you know, being in union and in unison with yourself and the universe and just the flow of, you know, universal order is going to help you along with this. And, you know, I do not think that it's a coincidence that Uranus has moved into Taurus. I think that that may have something to do with this push forward for Taurians during this time. Uranus moved into Taurus sometime last month. I don't know the exact date, but that's like a 7-year cycle, I believe it is. And I mean, it's a huge shift and a huge change. And I think that that may be impacting you guys in some way here. And it looks like it's impacting you in a positive way. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify some of this and see what else we can get on this. Okay, Spirit. So what else do Taurians need to know for the month of April 2019? What is this Heaven and Earth card about for Taurus? What do they need to know about this? Okay, we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. So again, I'm getting like that message of kind of coming out of this immature energy. The Page of Swords upright can be a little immature. They can be, you know, very cutting with their words, or just not really like thinking before they speak. They can be like spying on people or stalking. It's not always a very positive energy. So for it to come up in the reverse, I feel like is really good, because I feel like you're kind of coming out of this energy and you're kind of maturing and really realizing how to operate in a way that is more productive for your path and your future life, basically. And I'm getting like this childhood type of issues, like kind of being healed and released. Because Page of Swords is also can be a child. So definitely feel like there are some childhood issues that are being healed for the betterment of your growth. Okay, so what is this child card about for Taurus? Okay, Temperance. So very much in line with what I've been saying. This is like the balancing, very similar to this Union card. The balancing of your energy, of just all aspects of yourself, really kind of coming together. I'm getting the message that for some of you guys, this definitely is conceiving a child. Yeah. So I would be aware of that in the month of April. But I also, I'm getting like this like spiritual type of guidance here. And for those who are trying to conceive a child, I'm also getting that like, this is with the right person here. So it's like the perfect mixture of two souls, if that makes sense. But yeah, and I do feel like spirit is here, like in like there's like almost like an angel looking over you and your situation during this time. Okay, what does Taurus need to know about the Hero card? What is this Hero card about for Taurus? Okay, the Six of Pentacles. Again, I kind of get like this balancing type of energy. But I'm also getting that, you kind of need to focus on being your own hero. And making sure that you are not wearing yourself thin or giving to too many people to where it's like detrimental to you. I see a lot of people here like with their hands out, like maybe there's people that see that you are doing better or doing well for yourself, and so people are kind of asking for stuff, and this doesn't necessarily have to be money. This can be time, energy, like using your stuff, or it could really be anything. But just be cautious that during this time, you don't need to be everybody else's hero. You need to more focus on being your own hero during this time. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card on the Father and the Three of Air. So what does Taurus need to know about the Father and the Three of Air? Okay, so we have the Devil reversed. So I do think that this is kind of coming out of like some like heavy energy that has been holding you down for a long time. Definitely could be childhood things. It could be with a father figure. But it's like the releasing of the burden, the toxicity, the things that just, whatever it is about this situation that just doesn't serve you and your highest good, that's the stuff that's being released at this time. And I feel like, like some of you guys are like doing like research on this. Like there is, you could be researching like how to heal, some of these like childhood wounds. You could be like researching how to get a hold of somebody or find somebody so that you can like close something out. But I definitely feel like this is the release of something that was very like unhealthy. and that it's going to work out very well for you. So let's look at these three aces. What do we need to know about these three aces here for Taurus? Okay, the King of Wands. So definitely like that creative passion, movement forward. I just get this feeling of movement. I mean, you could be dealing with a King of Wands, so a fire sign would be Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Of course, we're in the time of Aries right now. But more than anything, I just feel like you are kind of taking the reins and really kind of gaining control of your own life and things within your life, and you're driving forward with all of this like newness and all of these like, it could be like new ideas. It's just like really charging forward into like a new life, or just new beginnings in all different areas of your life. So do we have any messages for this Union card? What does Taurus need to know about this Union card? Okay, so the Ten of Wands in the reverse. So this is like dropping any kind of heavy burdens. It's kind of similar to this Devil card in reverse. Like, I feel like there were a lot of heavy burdens or things that you were holding on to for a really long time, and now you are like dropping those and really kind of coming into like this this cohesiveness within yourself, like with your, you know, dark and light side, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like dropping all of the stuff that is meaningless and doesn't really mean anything and isn't going to really do anything for you, and focusing on getting yourself in balance and in this really like good place. Because I think that that's happening for you anyways, like whether you are in some way like forced to drop these burdens so that you can like focus on like certain childhood wounds and release those. Like, I don't know, I just feel a lot of like fast movement here, and it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple messages from this deck. What else does Taurus need to know for April 2019? What else does Taurus need to know for April 2019? What else does Taurus need to know? Okay, I have two that want to come out. Okay, so we have strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence, and forgiveness. Definitely, I feel that here, you know, with like childhood situations, that there is like this forgiveness and this building of self-confidence and strength, and becoming more mature and being more kind and graceful. I definitely see that here. So the next card we have is the Nine of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. So interesting that we have the angel right here. I do, like, again, there's some talk about this manifesting here. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. So really kind of staying in this more like high vibrational energy is going to really benefit you in the month of April, and releasing any feelings of regret, guilt, and worry, maybe things that you've held on to for a very long time, that you are releasing here in the month of April. And then underneath the deck, we have the Ace of Raphael. This says a positive, new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. So you know, there is definitely with all these aces here, there are some new things coming into your life, and that could be through a romantic relationship, or it could just be through any kind of relationship that brings you some kind of emotional fulfillment. So let's see what else we can get for Taurus. What else does Taurus need to know for the month of April 2019? What else does Taurus need to know? Okay, so a blessing on your day. That's really beautiful. So every single day, just, you know, remember to have this positive mind frame, maybe first thing in the morning. Say some positive affirmations, or just do something to kind of shift your energy into a more higher vibrational energy, like right from the time that you're waking up. I think if you do this for the entire month of April, you're going to see some really great changes and movement forward in your life. And then under the deck, we have a blessing on a friendship. So I do think that there may be some specific people that are going to be meaningful to you during this time. And they could almost be serving as like a guardian angel for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple messages from the Lightworkers Oracle. What else does Taurus need to know for April 2019? Okay, Dark Night of the Soul and Sixth Ray of Devotion. So I'm going to read these from the book. Dark Night of the Soul says, you are ready for a more real and radiant relationship with the divine. Your preconceived ideas and safe limiting beliefs may be sacrificed in order for this to happen. To the divine, these are only the clothing of your spirit. They are impediments to the absolute intimacy the divine seeks with you. You might feel vulnerable or uncertain as the divine goes about stripping away these barriers. This is when you enter the dark night of the soul. You understand there is nothing to rely upon but the divine, and you will find it difficult to trust at times. This night will end, however, and the sweetness of the divine dawning in your heart shall render all worthwhile. But for now, you are meant to feel exactly as you feel. You are not doing something wrong. You are moving closer to the divine. So a couple different messages. I feel that this may have started in the month of March for some of you guys, but it could be happening in April as well. I feel like there's like almost two groups. There's a group that is kind of going through this dark night of the soul, and it may feel like really uncomfortable and hard to deal with at times, but what is coming out of it is wonderful and great. Like a lot of people get kind of like scared or whatever when they see Dark Night of the Soul, but like it's actually a really positive and good thing. It's definitely something that we all need to go through in order to find the light. And I definitely see that you have a lot of positive stuff going on here. So if this is something that you're going through now, or that you do go through in the month of April, just know that things are all happening for a reason, and that you have a lot of good things that are coming after this. And then for some of you guys, I feel like this is something that you've already gone through. And you may be kind of experiencing a small bit of this with some of these childhood issues. But I don't feel like it's going to be as intense as some of the other experiences you may have had with the Dark Night of the Soul. And I feel like it's almost like this last little bit of stuff like kind of coming up to the surface for you to release. So let's look at Sixth Ray of Devotion. Okay, Sixth Ray says, the Sixth Ray of Devotion bestows the qualities of persistence, unwavering focus, and intensity of feeling. It is a gift of the strength to move mountains with your will for what you love. When the Sixth Ray of Devotion appears, you are being given guidance that even if you do not seem to have much worldly power right now, the power of your beliefs can conquer obstacles. The Archangel Uriel helps you receive the blessing of the sixth ray now. And you know, when I seen this card, I felt like this was an angel, and I just couldn't put my finger on which one it was. And so that's definitely Archangel Uriel. So if you do meditation or talk with angels, definitely call on Archangel Uriel. And again, I feel like we're talking about this manifestation, like this manifesting here. Like you are learning how to be a master manifester and how to really work with creating your own reality and working with your own energy. So I don't know. I think that overall this was a really great reading, probably the best one I've done yet. So I hope that the messages helped, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Take care.